Hey everyone, I decided to do a video on um, feeling nauseous. There's a big difference between feeling nauseous and nausea and vomiting. Sometimes nausea can last days. Sometimes it feels like a lot longer than that. Especially if you're dealing with chronic illnesses or medication that causes stomach upset. If you don't eat properly beforehand, if you don't have enough in your stomach, if you're not drinking enough fluids, the nausea can be even worse. And I have a few tips and tricks of my own that I've managed to come up with and that have been semi-successful. I notice on days where I have more to do, like yesterday, as you can see, I'm at home. I left mom's and I didn't realize how much stuff I had accumulated there. So I was packing and not really watching, the time and realizing that I need to take breaks when I'm doing stuff. And I got so sweaty and so nauseous that I actually did vomit. Whereas usually I take it easy, I take it slow. I sort of allocate one task, for the day, and if I get more done than that, that's fantastic. If not, it is what it is. And when you're feeling sick to your stomach, you don't want to do anything but lay in bed. But there are a few tips and tricks that I've come up with for myself. I am not a doctor. I am a nurse, but again, I am not suggesting these. I'm just saying that these are things that work for me most of the time. Okay, so the first thing is if I wake up and I feel nauseous, I will eat right away. And even though that sounds like totally counterintuitive to be nauseous and to eat, but if you don't eat and you're feeling nauseous, you can get dry heaves, and those are really painful for a lot of reasons for me because of my chest pain. It puts more pressure and then I'm in more pain that day. So I really try hard to have something to eat. And it can be anything. Like, you don't have to have breakfast food when you first wake up. You don't have to have dinner food if it's dinner time. Like, it's whatever you think that you can stomach and keep down. But like I said, these are tips and tricks for me. So I have a few things here. So rice crackers for me are really essential. Any cracker really, or bread if you don't have something, but something that will soak up the juices in your stomach so that, with the nausea you're not getting heartburn or anything like that, because sometimes that goes hand in hand as well, and it can suck. So having these by your bedside in a Ziploc bag, especially if you have pets and stuff like that, and if you can eat it right away, I do find that there is a difference in how I feel and how I go. And I take crackers. Right now, I take them kind of with me everywhere because if I'm feeling sick in the car, which has always been a problem for me, I've always been car sick, but it's gotten even worse with sort of the continued nausea, and it's more difficult to not dry heave in the car, but I do, and I will be carrying crackers with me in my purse as well all the time. The reason that I chose rice crackers, it's because they're bland, they don't have a lot of salt on them, and I don't know, I find that they're somewhat tasty, and even though this kind of sounds gross, they don't taste as bad coming back up as regular crackers do. So even though that's gross, that can sometimes like make a decision a decision. Another thing that I find to have on hand, it's leaking, Oh, it did leak everywhere. Is Gatorade. I buy the G2, the ones that are lower calorie, because some days I just need fluids and I don't need the extra calories. And I find that just even sipping on it a little bit throughout the day keeps you hydrated, gives you the electrolytes that you need if you are throwing up. And I find that if, again, it's all about a feeling in my stomach. If it's really empty, I feel even worse. If I have food or drink in there, then it does feel a little bit better. So sipping on that, I personally like the fruit punch and the grape. Not a big fan of the orange one. And I like the top bottle. It's kind of like a sippy it's kind of like a sippy cup. And I actually reuse these bottles too once they're done. I just put juice in it, and that way I can again sip from it and have it kind of with me throughout the day when I'm at home. The next thing for sure, and you can use anything that you feel comfortable, but popsicles. So these ones are Swedish berry and fuzzy peach. So I was getting the popsicles. I guess it doesn't really matter what type of popsicle you have. You can have regular ice pops, or you can have freezies, or anything, whatever makes you feel good and that tastes good to you at the time. These ones are a little bit more expensive because they are kind of like the name brand compared to, like, say, like the no-name ice brand that comes with 24. So, I mean, there's only 10 in these, and I paid a pretty penny, but I've been eating popsicles non-stop. And A, that helps me stay hydrated, and B, it it's it's a change, right? After eating regular popsicles, it's kind of nice to have something that's yummy and tasty and will help make me feel better. For medication purposes for nausea, gravel or gravel ginger, depending on what you're doing. Make sure that you're not going to be driving or anything like that. And then as well, rest. Rest throughout the day. If you're feeling sick for a reason, and your body needs to relax. And oh, we have a little visitor here. He's been camera shy because I haven't been at home. Hi, Pop. Hi, baby. So I totally forgot what I was saying. Yes, rest. Rest throughout the day. And as well, keep. What are you doing? Oh, don't knock it over. It's really precarious, bud. I find that if I'm in a cool room, I try and keep wet face cloths by the bedside, because that will help as well. And I also, hi baby, I also have a fan in my room, which I think helps a lot too, like just that cold air. Oh my goodness, I don't know what you're trying to do there, sweetheart. The cool air really, really helps. So those are some of the tips and tricks. Another thing too is fresh air. Right now my house is closed up, and the only reason it's closed up is because it's actually cool in here without the windows open. So, but I do find that fresh air. Oh my God, the cat just knocked over the camera. Oh my God. Okay, everything's fine. Everyone's fine. We're good. But I do find that fresh air does help. So even just taking, a little time to go outside, get that vitamin D in there, at the same time, and even just for 10-15 minutes. And then tips and tricks for vomiting, there really isn't. Just the only thing that I can say about it is don't fight it. If you have to throw up, throw up. Don't try and, hold it down or whatever, because that's just going to make when you actually do throw up even more difficult. Just go with it. Make sure you have bags in different rooms so you don't find yourself running to a sink or a toilet. And that way, if you do have to throw up, you just throw up. It is what it is. Other foods that are high in water content, like watermelon. I just bought two big watermelons from Fortino's, and just keep track of yourself. If you don't feel good and you feel pressure to do other stuff, just relax. It will pass. It will go away. Whether it's you know days or even a day of nausea is not even fun. Another thing too I keep forgetting to add is medication. I know I talked about Gravol, but there's also Zofran, which is a medication that will help with nausea and vomiting without too many side effects. There's also Maxaran or metoclopramide, and that's a medication that I actually cannot take because it gives me really, really bad restless legs. But it is another option as well too, and most of them come in either pill or IV form, so they have the ability to hydrate you. And then as well, medication. Right now I'm taking prednisone. I'm supposed to take it in the morning, but I usually don't have enough in my stomach to comfortably take medication that requires something in your stomach. Because if you take these meds and they're sitting in your tummy, all they're doing is making it more difficult to get that nausea away. And then, you have to end up taking, you know, something to help with, acid reflux on top of that because of the vomiting and stuff like that. So I think that's it for now. Oh, another thing too is when you do feel like eating, make sure you eat a balanced meal. And believe me, when you don't feel well, you don't want to cook. But if you have a meal that has a little bit of all of the food groups, so you're looking at a portion of protein, right? You don't want to just be existing on carbs, even though it may make your tummy feel well. You need that energy from the protein. You also need to have carbohydrates for energy and for making sure that your sugars are stable. And then you want to make sure that there's some sort of fruit or vegetable attached to that. And that's only because they are high sources of water content. So you want to make sure that you're getting that in. Even if it's canned vegetables, if you're having sodium issues, just wash the actual fruit or vegetable off from the can, and you're actually reducing the sodium content by quite a bit that it shouldn't really matter. And then other things, I don't know. Everybody kind of has, their own ways of dealing with it, but just remember that, today is today and it will pass. Just honestly take a day break and grab your favorite pillow and sit on the couch and just YouTube or Netflix the day away, because you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and that you're able to function in life without feeling like crap all the time. So these are my tips and tricks. If you want to try them, please do. If any of them work for you, or if you have any suggestions about what helps you, put it in the comments below. And I'll definitely maybe even do like a new video in a little bit about like viewer suggestions. I think that's it for now. Sorry for looking like crap, but I really don't care. So, like I said, I'm at home now. I just decided to leave mom's yesterday, not for any particular reason. I just thought I miss the cats, and I also wanted to sleep in my own bed and stuff like that. But I do miss staying at my mom's because it's like you know, it's a comfort knowing that she's there and whatnot. And I miss having a roommate a little bit. But I got my kittens and they slept with me last night, and they've been with me all day today and all evening last night. And even when I got up a couple of times during the day, they came out into the living room and, you know, cuddled and all that stuff. So anyway, my camera battery is about to bust, so I'm going to sign off and say good luck with what you are dealing with today. I hope as the day progresses it gets better, and I hope that you wake up tomorrow and things are better for you. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps a lot. I have a lot of viewers, but I don't have a lot of subscribers, which is frustrating. So if you are watching this, if you want to help me out and whatever, I can't see who subscribes. So all it is to me is numbers. I don't know who you are or who's subscribing and what like that, but it would really help me out. So I will log off and hopefully do another video later. Okay, bye guys. I'm at the hospital now, just running on time, going up to the 4th floor. It's very rare that anybody has had like a really bad reaction. Just I'm having a bad reaction to medication. I'll show you a photo of my legs. Includes my mom that she's